A relatable, real location to be cooking that real, cheap, achievable meal.
I had 3 or 4 years of posting, very little, sort of traction. But then in the last 6 months, I've just really gone for it.
It took you a long time to find the momentum.
Oh, yeah.
And now you won't be able to stop it.
It's been a bit of a 360 for me.
Yeah.
There's now joy in checking my bank balances. There are milestones that I hit for myself with my savings. And once I've hit those, incredible.
Welcome back to Where's My Money? Today's guest is a bit of a phenomenon. In fact, if you've opened Instagram in the last 6 months and you're even remotely interested in food or food content or eating, you've probably seen her face and her shredded chicken. What's that got to do with money? Well, come on in.
Welcome to Where's My Money? One man, $1 million of debt, one podcast to find a way out.
Alice Taylor is the woman behind Alice Taylor Eats, and in just half a year, she's turned her kitchen bench into a media empire, racking up more than 200,000 followers, quitting her full-time job, and building a content model that's cheap, cheerful, and completely her own. But it didn't happen overnight. There was a long grind and a bit of self-doubt, a detour into chef life, and then, ironically, a complete loss of love for cooking. So how did she go from burnt out and uninspired to one of New Zealand's most engaging and authentic food creators? We'll also touch on the challenges of affordable eating and why that's even harder for someone who's living on their own. We'll meet Doug from the Enable Me family, who's proudly single, self-made, but admits life isn't as easy as it could be. First though, back to Alice. We talk momentum, brand deals, values, the money behind the content, and why being real might just be the smartest business decision she's ever made. Let's get into it. Thank you for joining me. I'm so stoked to meet you.
I'm super excited, so thank you for the opportunity.
Oh, no way. Like, you're kind of a big deal in New Zealand at the moment. I reckon you're probably one of the most spoken about, shared, popular people on social media.
Oh, that's very kind. That feels weird to even hear that, but I mean, I'm just so thrilled that people are enjoying the content and, getting something from it. So.
Totally. So at Alice Taylor Eats is the Instagram account. You've amassed 200,000 followers in how long? Well, I've watched it every time I refreshed your page. At one point, you were growing by 1,000 followers across a night.
Oh yeah,
it was going that fast.
Yeah, it's going very fast at the moment. Like, I probably last week would have got 15,000 more followers. So it's growing and it's getting faster, which is super exciting. So yeah, it's grown a lot. I mean, I had 3 or 4 years of posting, very little, sort of traction. But then in the last 6 months, I've just really gone for it.
So yeah, 6 months was my estimate, and
yeah.
that is a real grind, because that took you a long time to find the momentum.
Oh yeah,
and now you won't be able to stop it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I started trying to kind of post around, I guess, 2019.
Yep.
And then
is that a COVID? There's a lockdown Oh no, that's before lockdown.
Pre-lockdown. I started to kind of try and post, and then again went on MasterChef, kind of tried to post a bit, just didn't have that sort of, it was mainly confidence actually. And then 6 months ago, I was just like, all right, let's just give this a real crack, and have been super, super dedicated posting.
It is a confidence thing, and I can say this from experience, and this is a weird parallel to draw, but I didn't bring this up before because I wanted to tell you this now. So you've been on MasterChef. What year was that?
Oh, 2022, I think, yeah.
So I was on My Kitchen Rules in 2015.
Oh my gosh!
And off the back of that, my cooking partner and I tried to start a food blog, like a food Instagram account, just like what you have done.
Yeah.
And it just went nowhere, because it is a time-consuming, labour of love thing that actually takes a lot of energy to keep it alive, right?
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, maybe this is me getting a bit too excited and talking about something we can talk about later, but it's also, for me, it was really important to find a model that worked. And so, my videos are very much like cheap, realistic.
Yeah.
The kitchen doesn't need to be tidy. Like, I look just like I've come out of the shower. And so those little things, even though they were very real, it also allowed me to film content, because I didn't have to pre-plan everything and come up with this crazy idea. It was part of kind of the brand. And so I think once I found a model that actually I could successfully replicate with a full-time job, that's when I got the consistency.
Yeah, I was going to say that, because your videos, they're not lo-fi by any stretch, but you're not in a commercial kitchen.
No.
The lighting's not like what we've got in here. It is a relatable, real location to be cooking that real, cheap, achievable meal.
Yeah.
Do you think that's what's really connected with people? This is a real person in her real kitchen cooking real food?
Absolutely. I think that is, one of the main things about why I've had success on Instagram. And I posted my first video back in November or December, and it was like this chicken that was leftover chicken. It looked terrible. Like I, shredded it up, and I talked about posting and feeling nervous, and this is what I look like, and this is what my kitchen looks like. And people just resonated with it.
Yeah.
And it does seem quite, even though it's so normal, it seems really abnormal on Instagram.
No, it is. You're right. And particularly for someone who's been on MasterChef, which is all about a competition, presentation, dish, the flavors were there, but the presentation wasn't quite there.
Yeah.
You've broken down those walls, and you've just made it about what you want it to be about, which is good food, being able to do it affordably. So let's take it back. So you're obviously on MasterChef, therefore you're obviously pretty good in the kitchen by default. You've had a few jobs culinarily speaking as well?
Yep. Yeah, so I always loved to cook, and I managed to get on MasterChef, which was just amazing.
Were you tricked into applying, or was it something you kind of wanted to do, bucket list experience?
Oh, 100%. Like, I had watched every season of MasterChef. I actually don't watch it anymore, which is terrible. It's just too much.
PTSD.
Yeah. I haven't watched an episode since, but I used to love it. And I always imagined when I was like 10, 12 years old, just dreaming of this opportunity to go on MasterChef and just how cool that would be. And then I was at university studying a Master of Politics, really not sure what I wanted to do with my life. I applied for various scholarships and jobs. I didn't get any. So I was just like, oh, okay, what am I going to do? And then my dad texted me. I didn't even see any ads. He was just like, MasterChef applications, do one. And kind of sat on it for a few days, and then I had a really bad day, I think, and I was just like, something has to change. Something has to change. And I applied, and I got on, which was just crazy because, again, I had applied for all these normal jobs and had no luck. And then I was like, I applied for this really crazy thing. I had no idea I would get on. It just seemed wild to me, the chances of that being so small.
Yeah.
And I managed to get on. And then I came third, which just exceeded all of my expectations.
Awesome.
I was just
a podium finish is pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And out of that, I got a job at Badootsy. So I worked there for a year, and then I moved on to Amersfield as well, and then back up to Paris Butter. So,
awesome track record of restaurants. So what was the moment you said, well, I'm going to, turn this into social media? What did something change? Were you sick of working in kitchens? What happened there?
Yeah, well, basically, many things. When I was on MasterChef, I tried to post and stuff, but I just didn't, because I was always looking at online and being like, well, my life isn't anything like this. I just don't feel like I fit in. So I never had the consistency.
You're not in Kitchen HQ all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so I just didn't feel kind of that confidence to post, but I did try, and I had very, very little luck.
Yeah. Well, especially watching, MasterChef Australia, for example, you get these guys who they become celebrities from the show, right?
Yeah, exactly.
This could be a moment for you to use it as a launch pad to become famous. You can become food famous.
Exactly, and I think I really want to stress that this happened. What's happening now has happened 2 years after MasterChef New Zealand. So the two, even though they are connected in many ways, the success that I'm having now is quite a separate thing. But yeah, I tried to have, some success on Instagram, didn't really have much. Went into chefing. Part of me loved it, but really in the end, just to be completely frank, I was kind of miserable. I just wasn't happy.
It's long hours, right?
Yeah, my physical health was also, not the best, and I kind of, in some ways, fell out of love with cooking. So which is
a real shame.
I was devastated. Devastated. I was completely devastated.
Food is meant to be this love language for so many people.
Yeah. I didn't cook at home, and I was just it was. No, it sounds really dramatic, but I was so devastated. I had lost this love, and I got into a corporate job as a commercial writer.
Got to pay the bills.
Exactly, got to pay the bills, and actually love commercial writing. It's something I will still do. And I sort of just thought, okay, let's dabble back in the kitchen, kind of spent a couple of months getting that love back, and then I started the Instagram up, and I thought, let's just do this actually exactly how I want to do it. What would I want to see online? I don't care what the rules are. I'm just going to post what I want to post, and throw out the rule book, and then it's been great. So yeah,
here you are, and it's kind of snowballed into this 200,000 followers. So you were working full time, but no longer, right?
No longer.
This has become your full-time job.
Yeah, exactly. I resigned from my job. The timings were actually quite good because around the time that I had resigned, just finished up, my Instagram literally blew up. I got well over 100,000 in a week or something once. I was like, yeah.
Shit, that doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, exactly.
How long ago was that? That was this year?
Yeah, about a month ago or so.
You've only just resigned from your job a month ago?
Yeah. No, it's been recent. So,
Whoa.
so yeah, but I mean, now it's reached a point where I could definitely not do both. So that's for one. And secondly, now this has become, a business. And so...
Were you hoping for that or expecting...
Oh, yeah.
You were hoping for it, but were you actually expecting it?
Yes. To be honest, yeah, I was going to work really, really, really hard to get here. I think I didn't know exactly when it was going to happen. Part of me thought it was going to happen, 2 years ago, and it didn't.
Yeah.
But I was just determined, and I remember maybe it was around February of this year, I was just like, all right, I'm going to just throw everything into this, and I'll make it work. And yeah, even if I was still, let's say, on 40,000 right now, I'd still be so stoked, and I'd still be working towards that goal.
In New Zealand, that's still a really powerful social media account that you can monetize, right?
Yeah, but no, it was very, very much a conscious, calculated effort of mine to grow it. Yeah.
Was everyone on your team? Were your parents right behind you? Or were they going, Alice, come on, you've got a good corporate job, it's paying the bills?
No way. They are the most supportive. And
awesome.
my parents are, incredibly supportive of me, and I think they know kind of how my brain works. I always needed to create my own thing.
Yeah.
And they've just been enormously supportive of me, and without them and without as well my partner, I would not be, where I am with my career now.
That is so cool. Okay, so let's cut to it. When did the money start turning up from this thing? Because if you're turning it into a full-time job,
yeah,
you got to make it. This is income, right? This is actually your job. So when did the money start turning up for these posts?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a couple of things. So I make my money in two ways at the moment. So the first way is through Instagram and the Alice Taylor Eats brand.
Yep.
And then the other way is through commercial copywriting, which I do on freelance. So they're two different things, and I actually quite like that because I love both of those passions, but also it kind of gives me some stability.
Yeah.
One thing might pick up a little bit more, and the other thing...
It's a quiet month over here, you've got a... Yeah.
Exactly. So, I mean, the ways that I started kind of making my own money, firstly was writing for magazines. So Cuisine, for example, I've worked for Cuisine for a long time. So doing the freelance articles, and then with Alice Taylor Eats, the main way that I've made my money off it is ads and brands deals.
Yep.
So for me, I'm very particular about the brands that I work with.
Great. Well, you're in a position where you can say no to stuff, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Which is awesome. A lot of social media people are not in a position to say no. They will take anything
exactly.
they get.
Yeah. Which I actually think is a massive problem because it kind of delegitimizes your brand. So for me, because I've got really strong values and I don't have an agent and I control the deals that I take.
Good for you.
That's the main way that I make
Ain't
my
no
money.
one taking a cut of Alice's income.
No, exactly. No.
Hold on to it.
So, so that's the main way. And then obviously I'll eventually expand that into different, projects that I can't necessarily talk about yet.
No, that's all good.
But I think for me, it's diversifying, where you can make your money. So you're not just relying on ads deals. I'm a writer, so I write for papers. I make money off that. Then I also do my commercial writing, like copywriting. I make money off that.
Yeah.
So it's sort of, and then I've got my chefing, so there's all these different ways that you can make your income.
It's a great way of explaining it, diversifying, because much like an investment, if you've got lots of investments here and there, all of those will ebb and flow, and some will overperform in 1 month and underperform in the next. So the more options you've got there, the more stability you'll have, right?
Exactly.
And it also probably keeps it interesting for you too, right?
Well, I get quite bored quite easily, and so I like the fact that every day I've got new things to do, and it does, it's quite good because you can negotiate a bit of money here from this company, but then you've also got, another little bit of money here from this company, and altogether it's quite nice. So, that I've found to work quite nicely for me. It has taken years to get to this point, and I feel like there's a lot of stuff about influencers and money and making money as an influencer, which, I question, what's true and what's not true. it can be a very good business, but you've got to be very strategic about it for sure.
Well, and I like what you said before about having values and actually sticking to them. I think that's really important, and I really respect that.
Yeah.
Like, well done, because like I said, a lot of influencers will just take any money they can get and they will flog off whatever product will pay them a couple $100 to do it. Or they'll just take the product for free and talk about it anyway, right?
Well, exactly. And I mean, for me, I am so proud of the companies that I work with and the businesses that they run. I'm like, absolutely, I'm going to advocate for this brand because it's awesome. It's good for you guys and it's good for the consumer, the person that's following me. So I feel totally happy to do that. But the moment I wouldn't feel satisfied doing that, I would not go near that. And so,
I love that.
Yeah,
so
it's
cool.
kind of playing a long game, but I think it does. It not only you get a return in the end, but also you can just sleep at night and feel good about how you're operating.
Yeah, totally. And again, you're in a position to do so you should.
Yeah.
What was your first brand deal? Do you remember it? I mean, you've probably had a few now.
I can't even remember because it would have been years ago, when I was on MasterChef. I actually can't remember. I've had a few, but I mean... What
about your favourite? What's your favourite brand deal that you've done?
I love all the brands I work with now.
Oh, come on.
No, I really do. I like all the brands that I work with at the moment. They're great. I mean, one of my favourite brands I work with is Quantum Pacific. They're just awesome, Kiwi cleaning product company. I love, marketing and promoting products that are essentials. So food, cleaning products, etc. That, everyone needs.
Yeah, totally.
And they're just great people. So I just love working with them.
Okay, we'll flip the question then. What's the dream brand collab that you do on, whether it's Instagram or writing?
Oh, it's hard to say. I mean, I haven't actually thought.
Oh, you've got to have it on your mood board.
I don't have a mood board, because I don't know how I feel about mood boards because I think some things have happened in my life that I couldn't have possibly imagined and they've been...
I couldn't possibly have mooded this.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, like even this year I had the Prime Minister and, Chloe Swarbrick and Chris Hipkins and Nicola Willis in my house. I could not have envisaged that, that's just
wild.
I didn't even know that could happen.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't have the mood board, but yeah, in terms of brands deals, I mean, there's many that I'd love to work with, but I love the idea of working with Kiwi companies in particular. So if I can support them, same as like Foodprint, who I also work with, they're fantastic. They do an amazing thing. So yeah, I don't necessarily have a dream company.
So there's no specific brand of pots and pans you want to try and schmooze yourself into using exclusively? You don't want your liquid.
Maybe I make my own.
Yeah.
Maybe I make my own. That's kind of probably what I'd do.
You could. You absolutely could.
Yeah.
So we've said income's pretty reliable month to month. It's a bit Wild Westy still. Are you looking to, what's your next plans for growth? Because you've got the momentum now. So what are you doing next to fuel the fire? Yeah,
I mean, it's an interesting thing because I feel like sometimes I always think ahead, like 5 years ahead or even 1 year ahead, 1 month ahead, what's the next thing I can do? Yeah. But for me, it's also looking at right now, whatever I'm doing is going really well.
Yeah.
So it's also sticking with that. And I think that a lot of influencers, sometimes they get bigger and they get a bit overwhelmed and things move and you actually feel it in their content. So for me, the most important thing right now is to keep delivering on what I promise my followers, which is cheap, realistic cooking content.
Yeah.
If I keep doing that, if I keep, I'm an entertainer. So if I keep entertaining people and giving them, great recipes and tools and making them feel better about themselves when they leave my page, that's the main really big goal for me. That's the main thing. So it's actually protecting what I'm doing, making sure that I'm doing that really well, and then expanding into other projects as well. So I would, love to keep working with amazing brands. I'd love to write a book. I'd love to expand the types of content that I do, maybe longer form.
Book singular? Nah, come on, multiple books. A full series of Alice Taylor books.
I'd love to eventually, sell some different types of product.
Yeah.
And I mean, we'll have to see. I've got many ideas, but the most important thing for now is just to keep doing what I'm doing and doing it well. The opportunities for you are endless. I'm so stoked for you. I'm jealous of your success and what a cool place to have success in, because I love food. I love food content. It's really, really cool. Let's get into the food, because we've been talking a lot about the money. This is a money podcast, but let's start with, this is just a dumb question, but I have to ask it. What's your favorite meal to cook? Like budgets off the table, spend whatever you want.
whatever ingredients you want, what is your favourite thing to cook for yourself or for someone else?
Two things, I'd say. My favourite thing to cook it has to be cake. I love cake. I've got a weird, I literally have a tattoo of cake on my arm, which is just wild. See?
No. Oh, the word cake. I was expecting a 3-tiered. Okay, cool.
No, just the word. But I love cake. So some sort of cake, probably an apple cake. And that recipe as well really grew my page. It's, one of my partner's favourite cakes.
Nice.
So I just love it. And then in terms of savoury, it's my nan's chicken curry. I love it. It's really cheap to make, but it's the best thing.
Is it kind of more Indian inspired or?
It's Fijian.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Yeah, it's Fijian. So obviously Fijian food has a strong Indian influence. But yeah, that's probably my favourite thing to eat.
Okay, so bringing it back down to earth then, what's your favourite cheap meal to cook? Is it still...
Both of those things are very cheap.
Okay.
I mean, and then another thing that I love as well, which my partner makes, he's a chef.
Mealtime at your house must be amazing.
It's a good line. Yeah. He makes something called tav, which is an Albanian dish, which is like rice and meat, and it's baked. It's like a pilaf.
Okay.
And I love that too. So, but I just
sounds like real comfort food.
Yeah, and I love the way that we cook, and we cook affordably, but I always cook like that. I think you use the ingredients that are in season, and you don't do too much to them, and that's how I like to eat. So,
I love that. That's so cool. Okay, so coming back to sort of what you promote on your podcast, which is, like you said, it's cheap, realistic cooking. Do you think cheap and healthy eating should be easier in this country than it is currently?
Absolutely. And I mean, this is why I do the videos with the politicians, because for me, and I've kind of talked about this as well with Francis Cook, but, for me, it's really important to include that as part of the conversation. Yes, I'm telling people, this is how you can maybe cook cheaply, or this is how I save money here, but then there's this massive elephant in the room, which is that it's just so expensive.
It really is.
And so it's really important for me to recognize that and be like, actually, some of this stuff is out of our control and it shouldn't be like this. And I want to understand why. That's really important to me.
Not that you should have to have a social responsibility as an entertainer or a chef, because, I go and buy the cookbook from Maddie Matheson or whoever it is, and it's like, buy 10 chickens for this recipe, and it's like they don't give a fuck about what things cost. It's like, if you want to cook the recipe, you'll buy the ingredients. But again, I do like that you're holding to your own values and going, you feel like you do kind of have a social responsibility.
Oh, yeah. And I also think, also from a business perspective, not only is that important to me, but there's also a massive gap in the market, which was just cheap and realistic cooking.
Yep.
And so for me, I just identified that, and I was like, why do I go on Instagram and every recipe I see, I cannot cook, or I cannot afford that this week. I'm not going to,
or I don't have the appliance.
I don't have the crazy, well, that's another thing. I don't have the crazy appliances. I want my recipes to be as accessible as possible for everyone.
Something else we're all poor on too is time. Some of these things will take days to cook.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I mean, that's another thing for me. I include time as sort of, a luxury. And I get a lot of shit. Sorry, I don't know if I can swear, but I get a lot of shit.
Yes, you can.
I get a lot of shit by some people online, grow your own garden, Alice, milk your own cow. I'm like, with what time, people? I don't have time.
And what land? You live in Auckland.
Land, So that's really important for me to consider time and money in my recipes. And,
but there's nothing stopping your followers from growing their own.
For sure.
You're not trying to say that's wrong. It's just that's not how you've done it.
But everyone online's got an opinion.
You'll never please anyone online.
Fine.
Do you think it's harder for singles to eat cheaply and realistically because of, we call it the singles tax? Life tends to be a bit more expensive if you're living by yourself, because you've got kind of the same bills that you're dividing by one rather than 2 or 3 or 4 if you're flatting.
100%.
How do singles tackle it?
I mean, I think for me, I definitely felt it more when I was single. It was costing me more.
Yeah.
And I was definitely struggling to save a lot more. For me, and I've actually got a recipe coming out this week about, roasting a chicken and using it across multiple meals.
Love it.
So I think for me, it's about cooking one thing and then spreading it out across meals. So maybe you make a bolognese, you make a bit lasagna, you do something else, a shepherd's pie, you freeze it. I think it's about, still cooking multiples, but just spreading them across the week, and then kind of putting a spin on them to make them not feel like you're eating the same thing. But it's more expensive if you're single. 100%. Yeah. And a lot of people don't talk about that. So yeah, it's crazy.
Back to Alice in a few minutes, but while we're on the topic of the single life, I thought we'd jump into a chat with someone who is all too aware of the challenges that singledom presents, financially speaking anyway. Doug is a part of the Enable Me family and is someone who's joyfully single and has no hard and fast plans to change that. However, he recognised that without a partner in crime to help save, help motivate, and help dream when it comes to money, the power was his to change. And he did.
I'd say that through my 20s, I kind of just rambled through. I left university, started working, and just spent everything I had.
Everything.
There was no kind of inkling in my brain that work needed to start now to get me where I wanted to be in the future. Not that I knew what that picture looked like at that stage.
Yeah, right.
But that part of my life was essentially just spending time with friends, going out, buying what I liked, leisure, being comfortable, and not...
Just living the good life.
Yeah, no, having fun.
Have you heard of the singles tax?
No.
The singles tax is this concept that someone who, is single by their own choice or by circumstances where life is more expensive for them because they're not splitting their expenses with anyone else. So they see it as a tax because they've got to pay for twice the share of something if it was in a couple. If you move in with your partner and all of a sudden you've got two incomes to split the power bill and split the water bill, that's the singles tax. Did you, looking back before you had a plan, did you feel that? Did you feel that sort of that pinch?
I felt it.
Yeah.
I didn't know it had a term.
Yeah.
Until now, but that income tax is definitely something I've been thinking about for the last, I would say, year.
Yeah.
At this point. I'm very mindful that with two incomes in a home, achieving and making steps forward can be a little easier, just because there's more money coming in, more to play with.
But it sounds like that hasn't put you off.
No, I'm aware that it's probably a little more difficult. My timeline is probably a little longer than people in relationships, especially if that goal is to buy a home. If someone or if a couple is expecting 4 years to save for a down payment, I'm expecting that to take 7 to 8 years for me. So I'm grateful, at least, that I've begun that timeline.
Yeah.
That I've begun mapping it out.
Do you see is it almost motivating you to push really hard? And
it's motivating me now.
Yeah, nice,
but
awesome.
Before I'd even begun having those thoughts, incredibly daunting. There was a huge mountain to climb.
Yeah. What's your money philosophy as a single person? Do you feel more or less pressure to spend in certain ways? Obviously you did before because you were living the good life and you were just kind of throwing caution to the wind and going out and buying drinks and whatever it was. How's that changed now?
There are the advantages, I'd say, to being a single person. I'm not buying gifts.
Yeah.
I'm not going on big holidays.
Yeah.
If a holiday for me is a drive out of Auckland, it's not a flight, it's not a cruise, although it could be.
Yeah. You never know. You might meet the person of your dreams on a cruise.
I could very well meet the person of my dreams on a cruise. I don't think so.
What do you think the most significant financial challenge you've faced as a single person is or was, and how did you overcome that when you realised things were getting a bit rocky?
When I began tracking my own expenses, identifying what was going out and where I could start pulling back, I thought then that the increments that I was saving was slow, maybe too slow for me.
Yeah.
Which only prompted me to accelerate that saving and find out where I could pull back further. I do think that just recognising at those initial few steps that it is a journey, that it's quite a daunting mountain to climb by yourself, can be quite intimidating. It put me off for a little while, but then just trucking through, educating myself, and I guess beginning was the hardest part for me.
And how do you balance now enjoying life like you were before, which is probably hopefully you're not doing it as much as you were, as you admitted to before, but balancing life and experiences with also saving and investing for your future. How do you find that balance?
It's been a bit of a 360 for me.
Yeah.
There's now joy in checking my bank balances. There are milestones that I hit for myself with my savings, and once I've hit those, incredible. Balancing, I guess, outside of my own finances, stop going out, stop going to the clubs.
It's expensive, eh?
Yeah, and when there are only 25-year-olds there, it's a bit of a different environment, I think. So I've been pulling back in a lot of areas. I think my social life has changed. I'm no longer going to 21st birthday parties. All the 30ths have finished.
I know that the life stages have certainly shifted. Have you made a conscious decision to change the social circle you kind of spend time with?
Yes.
Because that can be a huge factor in how much money you end up spending.
If anything, I'm spending more on gifts for children, for babies, newborns. I've got a few 5-year-old birthday coming up.
Yeah, same.
So if my social settings have changed, less so my social circles. The friends I've had, I say, from my mid-20s have stuck.
Did you find those shifts, did you see them as sacrifices or just, steps as investment into your future?
Yeah, no, not a sacrifice.
Yeah.
Friendships I value, good friends for a long time. Same values. I know that the conversations I'm having around money at 30 are conversations we're all having now, which is always positive to hear.
Doug's a really nice guy and a reminder we can overcome some of the adversity we face when it comes to money. You've just got to have the right attitude and the want to tackle it head on. Okay, back to Alice for one more burning question that I kind of just had to ask. Next time we catch up, can we cook something together? I really want to do a cooking episode with someone about something. I have this dream of doing it. I think I'd really love to cook with you. Can we do that at some point?
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is so good.
For sure. I'd
Gordon
love that.
Ramsay, fuck off. I'm going to hang out with Alice Taylor. Thank you so much for joining me. It's been a real pleasure to meet you, and congratulations on all your success, because I've loved watching it literally in real time, hundreds and hundreds of followers growing every time I refresh. It's fucking bonkers, but I do love what you're doing, and I wish you every bit of success in the future.
Thank you. That's very kind. I appreciate it.
It's a bit weird being starstruck by a food influencer, but that's me. I'm just a bit of a nerd. She's a cool woman, right? Something her and Doug have in common: they both took their destiny into their own hands and are making their lives what they want them to be. Without getting too woo-woo, it's all about vision. Go and follow at Alice Taylor Eats on Instagram. Chances are you already have, with 200,000 followers and counting. While you're there on Instagram, though, chuck us a follow too. I wouldn't mind a few more followers myself, so I can, sell my soul for a vacuum cleaner, because I have no morals like Alice. She's amazing. Seriously though, at Where's My Money NZ. Come on, join the family. August is Money Month, so in our next few episodes, we're getting back to basics and exploring how we can all make sure we've got some form of financial resilience. Join me and some amazing guests who will join me to ask the question, where's my money?